Magic. I couldn't really move forward with designing the rest of the world without defining something so important to its bedrock. I needed to understand what people could actually do with magic, its limits, and the consequences of using it.
The first question I had to answer was, who could actually use magic? In some fantasy settings, you're either born with magic or you're not. But for my world, I wanted a system in which anyone could theoretically use magic, if they put in enough work to learn it. I wanted magic to be on a even playing field. Nobody's locked out of attaining it. Although I do imagine some people have a better aptitude for it than others. Talent versus skill and all that. Now, the reason that anyone can use magic is because magic is tied to a person's soul, the animating force of life and clarity in all living beings. It's what allows for a being's perception, awareness of yourself and reality around you. I thought it would be a cool idea for perception to shape reality, and then the other component would be your willpower, one's conviction to change reality. 'Cause that's kind of how it works in real life. Your reality is what you perceive, and if you're able to alter it, you'd be able to twist reality to your liking, to make fire appear in the palm of your hand, from nothing, through mere thought and willpower. I thought it would be visually interesting if magic in its rawest form had the visual consistency of an oil slick. I think it gets across the idea of reality being warped and bended. I also think another fascinating pattern I'd love to play with would be fractals. As another way to depict raw magic, I'll have to experiment with that another time. Now, if anyone can use magic, what stops everybody from using it recklessly? My magic needs some real risks and consequences. Something that discourages too much casual usage. Since magic is basically an individual twisting and warping reality to their own liking, what if in that process of using magic, an individual twisted themselves, and as a byproduct, there would be physical markers of that change, as a natural consequence of using magic for a long time? So the physical mutations that come along with using magic, I think, would be psychedelic patterns in the eyes, and maybe even in extreme cases, the appearance of multiple pupils and irises. I also wanted to add special magic scars that would radiate out from the eye, that would take on different patterns and forms, depending on the individual. The other area that would get the brunt of the transformation process would be the fingers. They would get longer, darker, sharper, as the magic stains your fingers. Now, I think this would probably be the extent of the transformations, but if something goes wrong while casting a spell, the results can get pretty ugly. A spell could backfire. Let's say a sorcerer, as an example, they want to summon crystals for whatever reason. If they try to summon those crystals outside of their own limits, they could accidentally summon the crystals in their own bones. That would not be a very pleasant experience. Although, with proper training, a sorcerer shouldn't have to worry about a spell backfiring, so long as they understand their own limitations, and don't push themselves too far. Although, if they push themselves past their own limits, whether intentionally or not, they can change irreversibly, becoming something dangerous, something no longer human. But that's for another video. Now, I've talked about what happens to sorcerers visually on the outside. But what about their insides? Magic users often develop a mysterious hard organ, commonly referred to as the dark seed, although most in-universe scholars refer to it as the noetic organ. This organ can form in different locations in the body, usually either in the heart, the stomach, or the brain, often resembling some type of being, creature, or entity. A demon, an angel, a twisted worm, a distorted human figure, and countless others. Despite extensive study, no one truly knows the purpose of the organ or whether it serves one at all. Some scholars believe the dark seed serves as a second conduit for magic, allowing the soul to externalize its power more efficiently. Others believe that the organ serves no purpose at all, that it's merely just a scar, a visual indicator of the corruption and the warping that the individual has done to themselves and their body by using magic. And even others believe that the organ helps to anchor the soul to the body, or perhaps the opposite is true. Maybe it's a warning sign to the inevitable fate that lies at the end of the road, to those that delve too deep into the dark arts. Ooh, spooky.